Well, good evening, everybody. It's Wednesday night, expert in the house. Thank you for being here tonight. I'm really excited to be sharing a couple of stories with you tonight. My name is Sepp Hock. I live on the Sunshine Coast in Noosa, and I'm a diamond executive with ASEA. Been in the company now for over 4.5 years. And the story I want to share with you tonight is profound in many different ways. My story, I'll share a little bit of that, but the big picture of what this company is and how it's impacting humanity in a very profound way is an important story to be shared. And I feel very honoured and privileged to be asked to share just a snapshot of tonight. So I won't take up a lot of your time. I appreciate that you've come in from all different walks of dynamics with families and work and feeding the kids and all that sort of thing. So I'll keep it as close to half an hour, 40 minutes at the very most, and we'll get started. So once again, thank you for being on. Sit back, enjoy the journey, pour yourself a cup of tea, relax, and there could be something here that you'll hear tonight that could touch your heart, or you could think of somebody that you want to reach out to. So with that, I'm just going to share my screen. Give me 1 second. And here we are. Discover ASEA. Again, my name is Sepp, and let's get straight into it. So why are you here tonight? It's a good question, and only you know the answer to that. And the reason why you're here tonight is somebody who cares about you has invited you to come along and have a listen, have a look, and see what the story of ASEA is about. There's different reasons why people would be sitting in, listening about this story. One, do you need some help with a health challenge? Two, I think we all know the answer to that one for each of us, is that do we want to live longer and younger? Are you looking for additional income and lifestyle? I think some of us are looking for that. So what I wanted to do is just start briefly. I'm just going to give you a snapshot of our story where before ASEA, what happened when I was introduced and the journey that we've been on, and then I'll share with you some of the technology, and then I'll share with you about the company itself. It's important that we acknowledge and validate the story of where this came to each and every one of us, so we can share tonight. Well, my story, my background, I'm a builder. So you can see me there swinging a big hammer. Yes, my background, building industry for, well, geez, since 1980. So that's a long time. I'm also very passionate about health and well-being. So I've lived a very healthy life. And I also am a surfer. So the ocean, anything water, in, on, under and around the ocean, the water, that's me. And in the journey of about 13 years ago, I had a surfing accident and I broke my neck and it was pretty major. I was very, very lucky I didn't end up in a wheelchair. But what did happen was I went on a quest to find some help because the agony increased weekly, monthly, and every year for over 10 years. And everything I attempted didn't really help out. On top of that, I was carrying an injury while I was still working massive hours. I'm the kind of builder that we would design, and then I would physically be on the tools a minimum 60 to 80 hours a week, and then still come home and have to deal with everything else. So you can imagine having a very successful building company. We were in the top 8 of Australia, so we did the work, and I've been at it a long time, so I know what it takes to be successful, but I was paying at a very severe price. Secondly, there was tremendous overheads and there's a lot of risk being a builder. As much as I loved it with a passion, this whole challenge of my neck was really giving me a hard time. Thankfully, I was introduced to ASEA back in September 2014 by a dear friend of mine, Melissa, and she told me about this breakthrough, that it's a cellular health breakthrough and it's coming to Australia in the following month. And like you sitting in your room listening to me present tonight, everything comes back from relationships and connection and trust. And because I trusted Melissa and I trusted my own instincts, after I watched some of the information that she shared with me, I made a decision that not only was I looking for something to help me out with my health challenge, I was also looking for another way to generate some income. And that was really important for me. And it sent me on a really amazing journey. And I will give you a snapshot of my story now, and then I'll go straight into the rest of the ASEA story. Within 6 months, I had 100% recovery on both using the Redox drink and the Renew 28. I spent over $100,000 in 10 years with 0 results, and 6 months on this product changed my life forever. And that was back May 1st, 2015. As you can imagine, my beautiful wife, Jeska, and I, when we had the building company, we never had a lot of free time to be together, and that was something important to us. And as you can see there, here we are winning the top award for energy efficiency for all of Western Australia, and that took us into the top 8 of Australia as well. If you have a look at that photograph there, you can see that we're holding something very important, very prestigious that we've earned and worked hard for, but you can see that the stress of what we were carrying doesn't look that vibrant or healthy. The journey changed, of course, so that's what's exciting. We embarked on the ASEA journey, and you know, I was so excited about it because eliminating all of the overheads, all of the stress, now that I had a phenomenal product experience, we fully engaged with the business 100%. And now the great thing is, here we are, we're traveling the world, literally. Last year we did 5 international trips. Thankfully, it was all covered by our business, ASEA business, that is. Here we are on top of a mountain, snowing. I think that was in, I can't remember, Jackson Hole, that's right, having fun. Here I am in Noosa. It's kind of my lifestyle now. I'm not swinging a hammer anymore, and laptop lifestyle and a home-based business, or a phone-based business, which is pretty cool. As you can see, we're traveling the world, meeting and making brand new friends, and it's extraordinary how this has literally changed our lives forever. The other cool thing is we actually get to have time together. Jeska and I are now having, you know, 24/7, we're together, and we're actually happy about that. I mean, some couples may not be able to do that because of their dynamics or whatever, but for us, that's something we really wanted, and we love doing this business together. Here we are with the founder of the company, that's Virtus. It was a very wonderful moment, and we're very thrilled with that experience. Just want to, before I go into the ASEA story, I just wanted to take a look at these 2 photos, the one on the left and the one on the right. I think you can see pretty clearly that our lives have changed forever in a very profound way. And it's very exciting. The joy, the happiness, the fun, the travels, and the time we have together has been completely life-changing. So what's happened for us? We now have residual income. We're in the 6-figure income bracket now. We have time freedom. We can do this business anywhere we like, on the beach, on the phone, traveling. We make new friends, and we've got a whole new world. So this brings us back to you. What could your story be? Let's go straight into it, shall we? Health at the cellular level. And this is really interesting. And when we understand this, it'll all start to make sense about the importance of redox signaling molecules. We live and die on the cellular level. So when our cells are healthy, we are healthy. And that's impacting, these redox signaling molecules impact our cells, our tissues, our organs, our systems, which make up our entire body. So cellular communication is key to cellular health. The interesting thing is that the scientists know and have fully discovered that there's a lot of things that are impacting our health. One of them, obviously, is environmental toxins. We have stress. But the other factor is, which is very interesting, is that as we age, the body produces less and less of these molecules. And that's really fascinating. So after the age of 10, we're losing a 10% every decade production of these molecules less. So by the time we're 50, so I'm in my 50s now, my body, regardless of how healthy I am, has only 50% capacity to be able to repair and heal any damage. So by the time we hit about 70, we've got around 5 or 10% of these molecules left in our body. So as you can imagine, when we're older and we fall over, not like a little child, they bounce back, they recover, they're back into it, they're playing, running around, got endless energy. That's because of these redox signaling molecules. Sadly though, for the elderly, if they fell over, they may not actually recover. And this is where the whole story is, which is important about redox signaling molecules and why we need to address. So redox signaling molecules regulate every single system in the body at a cellular level. So they're covering every part of our body. So when we look at, the cardiovascular, we're looking at the digestion, hormone modulation, all of these things. This is what this technology is doing. So the simple message of ASEA is total cellular health. And the message is so simple, I wanted to share it with you. So what is it? A lot of people ask, what is it? It's redox signaling molecules. What does it do? It tells our cells what to say and turns on genes. And why do we need them? Very simply because our cells are breaking down. Like I shared earlier, with environmental toxins and stress and all of those things that are impacting us along the way. And as we're aging, we're producing less and less of these molecules. So we need them. So what have we learnt about redox signaling molecules? They turn on genetic activity or genetic expression. And as I mentioned before, we're looking at the three products here that contain redox signaling molecules that are impacting our digestive health, inflammation in the body, hormone modulation, cardiovascular health, and immune system response. So the flagship of this technology is now become a very exciting story because we're dealing with the cells on the inside and we're also dealing with the cells on the outside. So the flagship of this breakthrough product of ASEA is we can drink them and we can place them on our skin and we put them in our body and our body will start repairing and healing itself as it's designed to do. So we now have the complete cellular health program, and this is what I was just covering before. What's really exciting is just recently ASEA has now added a brand new platform for cellular health called ASEA Via. And it's extraordinary because these three products here are certified organic. There's no synthetics in them, and they are profound in the way they impact and support and provide the material for the cells, while the redox signaling molecules are giving us the labor, the communication to transport what needs to happen. So we've got a biome there, which is, it's an amazing product. It's a prebiotic and a probiotic. It's phenomenal how it's supporting gut health. And as we know, the immune system, or the biggest part of the immune system, is all happening through the gut. And they say that our second brain is our gut. The source that you can see there on the left in the green, that's a multivitamin. I'm not going to go into the science of that. The people who invited you can give you some more information. And the Life Max is extraordinary as well. It's really increasing energy, helping with the nervous system, and the repair and healing of those areas is there. So what I love about it, it's formulated to address all the major areas. What's even more that I love about this is just common sense. It's just, we get up in the morning, take our Redox, take our vitamins, put our gel on, our Redox Advanced Skincare, and then just get on with your day. At this point, I just want to, I'm going to transition into some of the pictures I'm about to share, and I just want to be absolutely clear that ASEA and Renew 28 are not intended to prevent, diagnose, treat, or cure any disease or medical condition. What we do know is that redox signaling molecules protect detect, repair, and replace all damaged cells. And they empower the cells to do what they're naturally to do in the first place, which is repair and heal themselves. And it's working. Let's have a look. As you can see here, you know, the top, on the very top left there, the wrinkles within 4 weeks, people with all sorts of skin challenges. The transformations are amazing. We've seen thousands of people, heard the stories around the world where this is impacting even people with scars, you know, the fine lines. It's quite extraordinary how this one product, and this is happening through the Renew 28. So this is working on a cellular level on the outside. Here's a photograph of my wife. So this is going back over 4.5 years ago when we first started. And we were told that when you first start using this, this product, make sure you take photographs before and photographs after. Now, I have to be really clear. I am not a photographer, but I did use my iPhone. And these 2 photos were done from my phone and no fancy filters, so I don't know how to do all that sort of stuff. But what we're looking at here is, this is Jessica's photograph on the left there before we started using. And as you can see, the transformation within 21 days was extraordinary. And for Jessica, that was a really big turning point for her because she not only saw, but she could feel the difference. And not only that, how she felt, you know, just feeling happy about this transformation set her on an amazing journey. Because the way I started and the way she started, it's a different story, but that's another time, another conversation for another time. This is really fascinating. I don't know if you've heard of thermal imaging. Thermal imaging is a very exact science. It's, so what we're looking at here on the top left, so this is somebody with anywhere where there's red, it means that there's a lot of inflammation. And what we're looking at is somebody with a knee challenge there. And then they've applied the Renew gel within 3 times in 5 minutes. And then on the 10th minute, they did another thermal image. So when you start seeing, you know, with exact science, measuring what's happening, you know, the inflammation and sort of things that are happening in the body, these photographs here are phenomenal on how that's impacting and changing how the cells are communicating. So let's have a look at what the experts are saying. Anne-Louise Gittleman, extraordinary lady. I have met her and heard her speak a couple of times in the States. She's published over 30 books in specializing in nutrition. And, you know, it's worth your while checking out what this lady's background is. She's extraordinary. And now I'm going to get a lot of rain, so hopefully you can still hear me. So she says that ASEA, in my humble estimation, is the greatest advancement in lifestyle medicine, which harnesses the power of your own body to keep it well. And here we have Dr. Gary Samuelson. He's an atomic medical physicist. He stabilized the molecules. So thankfully to him, we get to experience these molecules around the world. And he says, this technology has the potential to spearhead the greatest advances in health we've ever seen. And this is Dr. Rob Ward. He's published a couple of books there. This one is called Healthy Cells, Healthy Life. And he's an extraordinary man. He's got a great website if you wanted to know about some more information about redox signaling molecules and different health challenges that we can be faced. And he says, I know of no better resource than supplementing redox molecules if you want to impact our cells foundationally. ASEA has funded millions of dollars in research. And I want to be really clear here. When these companies, you're looking at Bioagilitics, there's Tourette's Laboratories, Pacific Northwest, Stevens and Associates, Dermatest, each and every one of these companies are third party and they are completely independent and they are world class. And these studies are irrefutable, backed, proved science. And when you have this kind of validation, it now, ASEA completely stands alone against anything else that exists. There's extraordinary information out there on redox signaling molecules. If you'd like some more information, it's great to go into ASEAscience.com. You can learn a lot more of information there. The other thing is, if you want to go in and do a bit of internet research, I want to be really clear that Google is not a research engine. It is a search engine. So if you want to do yourself the proper due diligence, make sure you go into Google Scholar or PubMed and type in redox signaling molecules. There is nearly 200,000 peer-reviewed studies and information on redox signaling molecules. Now, you won't see the word ASEA in there because ASEA is the company that has actually stabilized what all this research is about. So another one that's pretty interesting is people would have heard of Huffington Post, and they've published in here saying that here are the 5 of the craziest game-changing technologies that are starting to take off in 2016. So this was published a few years ago. Pay attention. Some of these will shape our lives in the coming years. And as you can see here, number 4, redox signaling technology. Redox signaling molecules have been around for eons, but it isn't until recently that we've learnt about their central importance to our health on a cellular level. New technology is emerging that inserts healthy redox signaling molecules into your body, helping to repair and replenish your aging cells. Since we are made up entirely of cells, every organ in the body can potentially benefit from this technology. So there you have that one. Now I'm going to transition into the story of ASEA. So we've shared my story. We've shared some information about the product and the technology. And I think now is an important time to transition into the integrity of the founders, the company, and how we all actually have this product. These 2 gentlemen here, father and son, Virtus and Tyler, are the founders of the company. They acquired an unstabilized technology, and Dr. Gary Samuelson was the man that came in to help stabilize this. And they actually solved the riddle or the problem of how do we stabilize these molecules outside the body. And they wanted to reach out and get this product to the world. So they invited a big pharmaceutical company. Intentionally, they thought, yep, this is a great way to go. And what was interesting was that the big pharmaceutical company said, yes, we can do a deal here, but there's one condition. And that is we need to shut it down so the people who are using this product can no longer have access to it. So, you know, there was a decision going on that these gentlemen had to make, and there was a lot of money involved here. So which one was it going to be? Well, it was pretty clear because Virtus and Tyler and the other gentlemen involved, they didn't need the money, but they knew they had their hands on something that was profound, that was already changing many people's lives around the world. So they ushered them out of the building and they said no to the big pharmaceutical company, and they said yes to people. The interesting thing is, for a whole month after that decision was made, they had to find a way to get this out into the market. And the interesting thing as well is that Virtus was not from, he comes from corporate America. He was in charge of craft food, and he was high level business. I mean, this was a $39 billion company, and he was in charge of strategy. So they had to find a way to get this product to the world because they knew they had their hands on something very special. And they looked at all of the different scenarios, how do we get this out there? As you can see, it's interesting, TV is right down the bottom of the story there. But what they come to learn and understand was that the word of mouth marketing was the most powerful and the most effective way for people to connect and share their stories where people felt heard, they felt understood, and they could be taken on a journey of discovery. So let's have a look at the industries of, that are really moving and shaking the world today. In the US, the music industry is a $16 billion a year industry. Sports and energy drinks, that's a $52 billion industry. These are really big dollars. The global skincare industry is a $79 billion industry, and the movie industry is an $80 billion industry. I definitely contribute to that because I love going to the movies every now and then. But here's where the decision became really clear. Globally, network marketing industry is a $183 billion a year industry. That is massive. So ASEA obviously chose this path because it's the most ethical way to get the information to the world. So let's have a look a little bit more about the company. It has a very phenomenal success and ethos and culture about the company. It's a beautiful success story. It's been profitable since its first year. It owns its manufacturing facility, and I'll show you a photograph in a minute. It has 12 distribution centers around the world. They're shipping to 34 countries now after 10 years. And it's done over $500 million in sales and year-on-year growth. And hundreds of thousands of people's lives changed. Now, here's a really meaningful statement that the founder, Tyler Norton, who's now taken over from Dad, and I love this because what he says is at the end of the day, people matter most. And when you get to meet the founders and the corporate team who are running this company, they all have this culture, this ethos where people matter and people matter most. Here's a picture of the global headquarters. As I mentioned before, it's very well established. They own the land, they own the building, they own the manufacturing down the road. As I mentioned before, it's profitable, financially healthy. There's no long-term debt. They have a phenomenal IT and financial and payment systems. It's scalable and it's ready for growth and expansion. This is the production facility. I've been in this building, which is literally just down the road. It's in Salt Lake City, in Pleasant Grove, and this is where they produce all the redox signaling molecules for the redox drink, for the Renew 28 and the serum. Again, there's a lot of phenomenal information here about, so this company is so scalable, ready for growth and expansion. The building is in place and the production center is already with the capacity to do another 75% more. They're only using 25% of their capacity right now. So everything is already in place for growth. It's very exciting. I do want to say, for those of you who want to, like I mentioned at the very beginning, why are you looking at this? There's an avenue here where if you want to have your products paid for and you don't want to pay for them, these are Aussie dollars. At the top there's over 200 million US dollars paid to 1,000 associates. But in this, this graph here, you can see these are in actual Aussie dollars. So we're looking at money that people have earned monthly. There's the low, there's the highs, but the averages, it's extraordinary. So if you want your products paid for, you want to earn a little bit more, the opportunity is absolutely there for you. So we're covered the company that you can trust. We know that it's a legal entity in 34 countries, which means it's registered, it's legal. There's no pyramids involved here, because in order for you to be registered and licensed in 34 countries, you definitely have to go through the process. So it's a company that we can trust. The compensation plan is definitely there, as I just showed you. And we have a phenomenal story, which is the complete cellular health. But just to wrap things up a little bit here, the timing is really important. As I just showed before, this is the growth since 2009. This company is definitely in a very big trajectory heading upwards. Last year alone, they did $127 million, and that number is definitely going to double within the next 2 years. So when a company hits the $100 million mark, we're at the post-startup, but we're definitely at the beginning of the pre-momentum stage, which means the world is starting to wake up, the world is starting to listen, and the world is actually starting to have an impact through the story and sharing of ASEA. It's very exciting. So where do you see yourself? One, first thing you could do is you could be a customer. You can get the products at a wholesale price, same prices that we pay for it. And you can get started straight away on any one of many reasons that you can see these Redox can benefit you. Two, if you wanted to have your products paid for, or you just wanted a bit of extra part-time income that can cover your mortgage, or you know, just pay for your car payments or put the kids through uni, whatever that is, there's that potential here for you. And if you have a bit of an entrepreneurial muscle in you and you wanted to go out there and do this in a bigger way, well, then definitely the lifestyle is absolutely here for you. And there are many people around the world who are living this lifestyle now. So just in Australia, you can become a member, an associate, where it's $60 for your membership. You can choose a starter pack that's best for you. There's a lot of great perks with that. We have an autoship program where you can accumulate rewards points where you can have free product. Now, the other thing I should add here, when I talk about an autoship program, it is very user-friendly, which means that if you wanted to edit, stop, change, or delete, it's just a touch of a button. But what we do know from a healthy expectations point of view is that using the product 3 to 6 months, the observation and the awareness over the last 10 years, 90% of people are seeing phenomenal transformations. Some people are seeing it a lot sooner than that, but healthy expectation, 3 to 6 months, 90% of people are seeing amazing changes. And that's why the autoship program is great, because as your body is repairing and healing itself, you're actually accumulating points to get free product. So we have a discovery that will significantly impact people's health. There is no question about that. We have a Facebook page where there's testimonies shared, and on that page, there's over 70,000 people on that page. It's very exciting, and there isn't a day go by where I hear a story and it's pretty hard not to shed a joyful tear. We have a technology that has the entire scientific community buzzing. Right now in June in Paris, there is a global summit coming together of some of the finest minds and universities, and the whole summit is on redox signaling molecules. I just heard that in Holland, some of the medical universities there, they've just started a whole new program studying redox signaling molecules and how that impacts. Also in the States, it's now becoming a subject where they're integrating redox signaling molecules into their studies and training. And we have it in a distribution model that is widely accepted and growing. Like I mentioned before, the last 5 years, network marketing as a profession in today's world, it has grown 57% in the last 5 years. So, you know, there is no other way that I've ever come across. I've been in business my whole life where with little overheads and you could have and generate a 6-figure income, even if it was over a 4-year period, and a residual income that you get paid weekly for the rest of your life. It's pretty extraordinary. So the bottom line is pretty simple. You get a position on the team, you get all the help to succeed, you'll earn an income on the products sold through your team, you get free training and mentorship, and there's also the reproductive residual income or asset income. If you don't know what that means, there's a great book that will teach you, written by Richard Bliss Brooke, and it's called The 4-Year Career. It takes about an hour to read. That book will impact your awareness on what is residual income or asset income. And not only that, more importantly, you'll be making a difference to many people's lives. And that's what fuels and drives all of us in this business, is because, you know, we're not driven by the money. The money's there, there's no question about that. But when you can impact human health and friends and family on this level, it's quite extraordinary. And I just wanted to wrap it up with this beautiful saying from Virtus, the founder of the company. We are all at the start of something big with great purpose, and right now is the moment that we begin influencing the future. We can change the world. So here I am, I'm back. That's the presentation, and I just wanted to say thank you for your time tonight. I've kept it right on 35 minutes, so honouring you for getting back to your dinner or putting the kids to bed or reading them a bedtime story. Bit old-fashioned, aren't I? We don't have a TV, so there you go. I just want to thank you for, if something here touched you, I hope you can hear the rain's coming down. If something in this message tonight was of benefit to you, or you thought of somebody that you wanted to reach out, please reach back out to the person who invited you, and just know that who invited you here tonight, they obviously cared enough about you because this story has impacted their lives. So with that, the rain is getting pretty loud, so I'm going to end the presentation. Thank you for being on. Have a beautiful evening, and I look forward to seeing you on the ASEA highway someday. Bye for now.